It is my great pleasure to invite you all to the National Webinar on Citation Index and Impact Factor. I cordially invite our esteemed speakers, Professor Parthasarathi Mukhopadhyay, Professor of Library and Information Science, and currently Head of the Department of Library Science, the University of Kolkata, Professor Bhaskar Mukherjee, Professor of Library and Information Science, Benares Hindu University, and I cordially invite our dear participants across the country. The faculty members and researchers, not only from Netaji Subhash Open University, but also from other universities are present in this digital platform to witness the proceedings. Let me introduce the Netaji Subhash Open University first. Probably you know, Netaji Subhash Open University is a state open university recognized by University Grants Commission and Rehabilitation Council of India. And recently it has been accredited by National Assessment and Accreditation Council with grade A. The university has 4.75 lakhs of students in different programs like undergraduate, postgraduate, and PhD degree programs. And we have also around 30 types of vocational courses. It operates through its 160 study centers located at different parts of the state of West Bengal. The university delivers its academic content through face-to-face mode as well as on online-based mode. Especially in the last 2 years during the pandemic, we used the ICT-based services extensively. We have dedicated LMS, that is a learning management system. We have web radio, web TV, and we deliver our lectures through recorded videos, which are available both in our main website and through dedicated LMS. The university organizes various types of seminars, webinars, workshops to strengthen our capacity of both faculty and students. Today, we are organizing this specialized webinar titled Citation Index and Impact Factor, which will be immensely benefited to the faculty members and researchers. As you know, from 2020-21, we introduced the PhD afresh as per UGC norms. So we have already also invited our research scholars, the registered research scholars, to attend this program. We, the faculty members and researchers, often face problem of citation, copyright issues, and issues relating to impact factor. In this backdrop, this particular webinar will help us in understanding the citation process, the index factor, and also the copyright issue. We have two esteemed speakers today. We have Professor Parthasarathi Mukhopadhyay, who will be speaking on exploring the citation network, the rules and tools, and other speaker, Professor Bhaskar Mukherjee, will speak on understanding citation metrics for quality research, visualization, and impact analysis. So may I request Dr. Barnali Rai Chaudhary to introduce and invite our speaker, Professor Bhaskar Mukherjee. So over to Dr. Barnali Rai Chaudhary.
Thank you very much, sir. I would like to introduce Professor Bhaskar Mukherjee, who is an eminent professor of Benares Hindu University, and his area of research is bibliometric analytics and e-resource management and resource management. So I would like to invite Professor Mukherjee to deliver his presentation and deliver some issues on the citation analysis and impact factor. Please, Dr. Bhaskar Mukherjee.
So, very good afternoon to all of you. It's really a matter of great pleasure that today with this esteem, my colleagues, my dears and nears in this web platform. I am here with you. Basically, some days back, Dr. Barnali approached me and Dr. Harimband Bosch also contacted me just to deliver my lecture on that issue. Altogether, I am really thankful that Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose Technical University at Kolkata is doing its very best services as well as promoting education to my motherland, my birthplace, that is Kolkata. Certainly, I am really proud of that. And it's also a matter of proud that I am able to get chance to express my idea on the university that you are staying on this online mode. So, dear friends, today basically the thing I will take care of, I will try to take care of, particularly it is related with citation metrics, as the today's presentation or today's webinar is pertains to that particular area. Before discussing this citation metrics, I will little bit touch on the word citation, as well as I will talk on the different metrics that present day we are using or we are feeling disturbed whether and which metrics is correct. I will also touch up a little bit on journal selection process. That is very, very important for a young researcher, which platform to be a best for your next best paper, that I will try to explain. Last, I will touch with little bit network visualization tools as well as the scientometric analysis tool. I will little bit touch everything whatsoever it is possible. The very first slides, if you see, is just like the interdisciplinary nature of today's subjects. So if somebody says that I am belongs to science and somebody says I am belongs to social science, some days back, probably it was an acceptable phenomenon. But now the things have changed. And in this changed scenario, I particularly believe now the subject doesn't have any boundaries. Every subject is interconnected with another subject, and every sphere has some interference with another sphere too. In this diagram, I am trying to show you how one field, say for example, computer science, or say for example, chemistry, is really attached with other fields, say for example, biology, or may say for example, medical science, everywhere. So it is just like a human brain, as like our human brain, which have so many cells and so many ideas, can accumulate and then take a single decision on various phenomena. Actually, today's science is basically based on such interdisciplinary and multidisciplinary interactions between subjects. Now, question comes maybe that how we measure these interactions. Altogether, the scientific people sometimes term it is because of the content matter by which we correlate one subject with another. But from our point of view, we are assuming it how the citation is related with one paper with the another paper. So for our perspectives, actually the interdisciplinariness of a subject or multidisciplinariness of a subject is nothing but the citation analysis or citation matrix. But fortunately or unfortunately, whatsoever you can say, this word citation have various connotations and meaning in various places. Actually, this screens create some trouble. This screens, because of this screen, number of things becoming little bit obscure. It is just coming up. Okay, let me push up into the top. Okay, I am trying to, some of the headings maybe it is not visible. Okay, so before starting this citation matrix, one have to be understand what actually the citation means. Altogether, everybody, most of the people may have an idea that when a paper published and it get or receives citation or recognition from other paper, usually it's termed as citation. But dear friends, dear my colleagues, I just want to say in citation analysis approach, the paper when you write, you use certain other papers in terms of reference list. Whenever an author or an author writes an article just to justify his work, he produces little bit references at the end of his paper. In fact, in citation analysis approach, these are called cited references. And in common term, we have termed it as a references. And after publishing, when this paper receive or get recognition from other paper, then in citation analysis approach, we are talking it as a citing references or cited by, and in common it is termed as citation. So one thing you have to be very much careful before understanding the concept of citation analysis is that it is not only the receiving part, it is also the part that author uses in his or her article when she explain it, when she deliver it to the scholarly community. Now, there may have so many criticisms and endless criticisms are there, but fortunately, this citation, that is the recognition received from other paper of a published paper, is assumed as a de facto standard for measuring quality. So it is very, very important to understand what piece of citation is considered as a de facto citation, de facto standard. Does every piece of citation that a paper receives from various sources can be considered as a de facto standard for measuring quality? Certainly, I must say no. There are only few pieces of papers that are to be treated for measuring impact or measuring the quality of the journal in where it is published. Altogether, this citation is a term which is very popular, and that's why so many unethical agencies use these terms in different ways. And they are just making huge business by selling the word citation. Actually, you have to identify what the citation means is actually what citation actually have importance in scholarly communication process, and what tool should be used or generally considered as a tool for measuring the quality of science. Here, I am just trying to show you A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, like these all are paper. And you are just looking, if you see clearly, paper C, there are 4 arrows move outside of the paper, means they have 4 references. You can say it cited references. But if you clearly see the paper A, then paper A have one inward link, one upward link, one outward link. So the inward link is citing references and the outer link is called cited references. That means a paper must have both those two links, cited as well as citing must have. Every paper should have both the two links. Now, in this context, 2 terms you have to be understand very, very important. Because, you know, in citation analysis, we are talking about matrix. Then the matrix is based on 2 basic idea. One is called coupling and another one is called co-citation analysis. What this bibliographic coupling means? Basically, bibliographic coupling is associated with the cited references, whereas the co-citation analysis is basically based on citing references. That means bibliographic coupling is based on the papers that the author cite in his paper, and co-citation analysis is basically based on the idea that how much paper or other paper have been quoted or use that paper for further writing. So these two terms, bibliographic coupling and co-citation analysis, is very, very important, because this bibliographic coupling, if we able to track the bibliographic coupling, then it is very easily possible to identify the research front. You must have idea that today's every nations, every country, every organization, every institution is very much busy to identify the research front. Why? Because in any organization, money should be invested on that direction which gives its word to the institution. Any policymaker, in any cases, a policymaker will only be interested to increase or decrease the fund to knowing about whether there is in which research fund this organization is expert. Say, for example, is the Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose University is very expert in chemistry areas, then certainly these people, by looking this bibliographic coupling of the paper, that will try to understand how much the contribution this NSU Subhash Chandra Bose University is producing in the field of chemistry. Accordingly, they will release the fund for the further research or improvement of science in the field of chemistry. So, this is very, very important domain or area by which the funding process is mainly evolved or mainly based on. Similarly, the co-citation analysis is very important to understand in how much knowledge base this particular area, this particular institutions have. Say, for example, I am writing a paper, my colleague is also writing a paper, but both of two cite or refer to a single paper. That means both the two we have altogether, maybe we are staying different parts of the globe, but it is very interesting to understand that who are my community to whom I should share my paper. Because there is very, very essential thing in today's context is not only on publishing, but after publishing, we make it visualize, we make it deliver, we make it send to our peers. But who are our peers? Who are the actual peers? How we will get know who are the peers? If we distribute our thoughts to them, probably we'll get little bit benefit, either by knowledge benefit or by financial benefit, or maybe some synergic benefit. So by which way we'll able to understand who are my peers, who are the actual recipient of a particular piece of information. That is, in today's context, is very, very important. Wave is full of information and misinformation. If you identify your customers, bank is also trying to know your customers, KYC. Like the way, just few days back, I was in Kolkata, somewhere I was saying, know your clients, know your customers, and another word is very interesting. I have seen, I am not recalling, it's very interesting, know your community. So it's not only that only for bibliographic coupling and citation analysis is only associated or related with your publication. It is huge implication because of these two terms. So you have to understand, whenever we write a paper, casually or seriously, we cite or use certain papers. And whenever we receive citation, probably seriously we receive citation from different parts, but it indicates how our paper or how our subject is, from which domain and who are the potential customer of our paper, which may help or lead us to understand the collaboration in better manner. That's why citation matrix's present context is very, very essential. Now let's come down. What are the very essential is, what are the tools? We are talking about impact, we are talking about citation and everyone. You have to understand that in citation analysis domain, there are only and only these three tools by which we can measure the impact of citation of an article. These three tools are journal impact factor. It was earlier maintained by Thomson Reuters. Now it is product of Clarivate Analytics. Second one is SGR and in SNIP, both are the product of Elsevier. They are the three giants who are only producing the quality criteria for a paper. So if else of these three, if someone is claiming that my paper receives such of citation or my paper have impact of so and so, these all are, please try to understand, they all are vague. They have no meaning at all. I will later on show it, but let first understand what actually this impact factor, which is very, very costly services developed by Thomson Reuters. Previously, it was developed by Eugene Garfield. Later on, it was come into the force and then it is being used internationally as the single tool for measuring the quality of a journal, quality of publication of an author and everything. So what this journal impact factor is, basically, if you see the formula, whenever an article published in a particular year, this year and another year, these 2 year articles and the citation that has been received by that journal on that year and the subsequent year has been considered for counting the journal impact factor. Okay, so here you please try to understand the year is 2 year. Its window is called 2 year window. That means 2 publications year, 2 citation year window. Both are considered, one is denominator, one is numerator. By citation as a numerator and publication as denominator, we make it a fractional value or maybe some value which is known as the impact factor of the journal. But there are some story also hidden in this factor. What is this story? First story is it only considers citable item, author, that item that is cited of that article, if it is comes from journal article or some purely scholarly articles that have been indexed by Web of Science, or you can say, better to say, Web of Knowledge. If some articles or journal which is not indexed by Web of Science or not any scholarly sources, non-scholarly sources means if this citation received from reviews or some notes or some editorials or some letter to editors, these are never considered for counting the journal impact factor. So you have to understand, it's not only the matter of citation. Along with the matter of citation, you have to understand the source of citation is very, very important. There is another factor that these people are now publishing, and this known as IGNA factor, eigen factor. Basically, this eigen factor is basically based on 5-year window. Okay, and these 5-year windows basically related with little bit on influence. Now the question comes, why this eigen factor comes into the picture? That's why, before stating on that, let's comes to the other 2 factor that is being developed by Elsevier, and that is called SGR and SNIP. You know, this JIF is very, very popular, and it is the only criteria to measure the quality of the journal. So there are 2 big giants in the publishing or in this domain. You must know Elsevier is one of them. So Elsevier was trying to develop another such criteria to evaluate the quality of journal. They have developed 2, SNIP and SGR. This SGR, CIQA Journal Ranking, is basically known as prestige matrix. Why it is prestige matrix? Because along with citation, it try to understand from which subject and the prestige or the quality of the journal from which that citation comes. Along with the total citation, they also try to count from which source. That source means not only the journal, the prestige of that journal, or you can say the quality of the journal. They have developed certain criteria to evaluate the quality of a journal. According to that, they measures the SGR. Certainly, due to that, the SGR value becomes very, very low for a qualitative journal. Altogether, GIF or Journal Impact Factor is little bit high, but SGR value comes to very less. Why? Because they are considering the impact or the citation factor, or you can say on the basis of the quality of the journal, along with citation, from which qualitative journal it is coming, from which subject it belongs to. These both are. And the last one, SNIP, as you know, in cytometrics, in statistics, in fact, better to say, normalization is very, very important one. Only the trend and only the citation may not be the only criteria to judge the quality. So they have put in normalization value to count the citation. What type of normalization they are using? They are using subject normalization. Say, for example, this article published in this subject chemistry, they are trying to gather it how much chemistry related journal cite this paper. If that paper has been cited by physics related journal or other journal, they are not treating it as a direct relation with that paper. So just to understand the knowledge base on that particular domain, SNIP is one of the most beautiful criteria to judge the quality of the journal. But try to understand, if somebody says there are so many tools, so I will go for that one. I am just want to say one word, that except these three tools, there are no such tools exist by which you can actually measure the quality of an article or quality of a journal. So whenever you are going to submit your article, it is always suggested to check out your article whether they are included into this database or not. For that, I am just little bit showing you the actual website in where this is, you can get it. I am showing it in live. Okay, now we are reaching into the SGR. Probably you are looking this site. Now, if I type a particular journal called Current Science, okay, you will find it, the total citation it has received, how much citation it has received from its own journal, like that. Along with it has recommended some related terms journal from all over the world. If you know Current Science from India, you click it, then Current Science, then H index will come. I will talk on this H index after just a little bit of that. And after that, you will find the actual value, the article, this SGR, they have calculated it. And if you come into the last, here it will be find you, it's quartile 2 impact, SGR value is 0.28. So by this way, you can able to understand, okay, it's a qualitative journal. You may try it with your own journal. Just type the journal name over here. If the journal is accessible or searchable over here, exactly the same title you are asked for, then at least you are able to understand, yes, it's a potential platform in where I can submit my article. The right side one, if you see, it is the JCR, Journal Citation Report. Actually, this report is very, very costly. Probably you know its cost is near about 12.5 lakh rupees. It's only published in the month of July and August. The whole world usually wait for this report. And it's so crazy report, it's so important report for academic research that everybody on July and August, they are looking, every journal publishing is looking onto that report. Altogether, it is available into the web, to the Clarivate Analytics original website. By the grace of this free sources, if you simply type JCR 2021, if you see, I can see it, I can also show it to you. Just simply here in here, I am typing it as JCR 2021. It will display. Try to understand, there will be so many papers from Clarivate Analytics will come. Don't go that. Only which is coming from researchgate.net. It is a free service. Here, this full text download is available. Here, if you click it, The full text download, you can get it at your doorstep. Here you will see three type of impact is showing. First one is actual impact factor, which is known as journal impact factor. And then it mentioned the quartile, in which quartile it received the citation. Along with the 5-year impact factor, it is showing to you. So these are the two tools by which you can check. And these are the three measures by which you can understand how much a journal is qualitatively strong. If they are included into these two databases, probably it may be fair to say that you can choose it as a platform for publishing. Simultaneously, I always suggest to everybody, whenever you are looking for, go through this site. This is another very site to understand the archiving policy of the journal. But along with the archiving policy, the same site you can also use understanding the quality of the journal, because it's a project by which only the qualitative journals of the whole over world is being included. So you can also type, you can try it on your own. I am just timing it, current science. Here also you will see, along with that, you will understand the publication archiving policy of that journal. Because why I am talking that? After publishing of an article, if an author doesn't know whether I am violating any copyright law, if I republish that article in form of my book, forthcoming books, few of my article, if I take it for the use of academic purposes, whether I should go for any violation of Copyright Act. For that, you please check it over here, what that policy, that particular journal publisher follow. I am again telling you, if that publisher in where you have chosen your earlier publication, if it is a qualitative journal, then only it will come. Otherwise, it will not come. So you will not able to understand the archiving policy. By this published version, submitted version, and accepted version, which extent or which version that current science.india, your current science, Indian Academy of Science, allows you, you can able to understand. So accordingly, if you submit your article, if you again republish your article with little bit preprint or proofspring, you will certainly not violate the copyright law. So you, for knowing how far, how much I am going to violate the copyright, along with the quality criteria, you must check this site to know about the archiving policy. Now, the question comes, as I am talking about, there are only two criteria, there are only two things, two services by which you can measure the quality of the journal. But it is always not possible to search it, to find it, to get it, know about the quality of journal. Okay, so I am just here giving you, trying to show you little bit criteria by which you can able to understand how much a qualitative journal is. And lively I will show by displaying one journal which claims that that journal is a very highly qualitative. Mainly in today's context, you please try to understand, a journal must not able to include so many articles in a particular issue. It is an impossible task. It must not provide a review process so fast. It must follow certain standard in its article. It must certainly follow editorial board, should have certain recognition, or the editors must be well known. Anybody cannot be the editor of a journal. It must consider article globally. It must receive citation globally. It must include important databases like Web of Science, Scopus. Not only these two, but there are some few more also. If they are included into these databases, you may consider is a platform for publishing. Now, let's see about this journal. Again, I am showing you this journal claiming that its impact factor is 5.692. Now, let me check one by one, few of the point of this journal to understand how far this journal qualitatively good as it is claimed to. First, if we come to the journal, International Journal of Engineering Research and Application, if you simply type this journal with its name, you will find prototype, or you can say mimic or verbatim name journal. So many journals on that. A internationally qualitative journal should not copy the name of some other good journals. It should not be. And in generally, our practices have noticed that a good journal must not start it with the word of international and global. Because journal is a platform for scholarly communication, certainly it must be global. If a journal feels necessary to recognize them or to knock the reader that they are international, it must not be the criteria to judge. Simultaneously, you please check this editorial board if it is possible. If such type of fake editorial board you are find in a journal, in where names are there, country name is there, but the actual identity, who is Manju Sharma, there may be thousands of Manju Sharma from India who are serving as an editor. There may be thousands of Dr. Rao of PhD USA from USA. So if a journal uses such vague type of editorial board composition, never choose those journals as a platform, to my understanding. Because these journals particularly trying to gather money by processing charges. Why? Because you just see this journal is receiving 3,000 rupees per month just to publish an articles. And if you go its archives, in every article, it includes almost 120 to 130, 150 articles per issue. You just see here 76 articles into 9, almost 750 articles in this journal in a monthly volume. Do you believe for a human, is it possible to control 760 articles per issue to make a review process? But this journal, fortunately, on its first website, on its homepage, it first says it's an online peer review international journal. What is peer review they are following, God knows. And interestingly, if you see the sites properly, here you will find this type of links they have using into their journal. If you click it, all links will find you missing links. So such type of vague information, if some journals is claiming, and they are claiming impact factor of 6.465. By what? Because they are counting their impact factor by their own, just copying the process as CIQA journal ranking follow. If you see the outlook of CIQA journal ranking output, the page structure and this IGAR page structure, both are looks like same. Why a journal need to copy the display format of other journal just to inform user that they are good journal? Never choose such type of journals as a platform. Now the question may comes to you, they are claiming the impact factor of 6 point this one, from where they got this. These are the misleading impact factor. Probably it is better to say impact factor shock. Every impact factor have common or same authority or proprietor. If any journal is indexed or claiming their impact factor by such impact factor mechanism process, don't believe it, it's a good quality journal. I always suggest don't choose it as a platform for your qualitative publication. Because once you unknowingly publish your articles for your whole academic life, everybody may quote that he is publishing such a predatory journals. He has a habit to publish just to increase the number into its credit. So I don't believe to go for such type of practices in academic line. It will lead to be a better practice. So these are all about the impact and all. Altogether, in today's context, there is 3 tools which has become popular, known as H-index, G-index, and IT-index. You all know, I am not talking about what actually this H-index and G-index are. I am trying to show you why these are important. Because if a author have a consistent performance in on its publication, then he certainly have a high H index. You have seen over here author A, author B, author C. Altogether, the article published by author C was received 230 and 190 citations, but unfortunately, impact H index come to 2. Why? Because only the 2 articles which received 2 or more citation. The third article again received 2 citations. Its H index will reach to 3 only when the third article will also receive at least 3 citations. So this 3, 2, 1 doesn't looks like very near to each other, but try to understand if a author have more than 10 G index, and if he regularly publishing articles, then it takes huge time to reach from 10 to 11. It takes huge time if he not regularly involved into the publication, or if he only have some publication with some joint or collaborative authorship to some good authors, then he dealing with that authors, then such type of author C's H index structure will be visible. But if a consistent player like our Sachin Tendulkar or your Saurabh Ganguly probably is a category of author A. I am not talking about who is author C in cricket. You have to understand consistent performance in academic communication or writing is very, very important. So these are the criteria to judge the quality of an institution, of a person. But journal impact factor is a criteria to judge the quality of the journal. Okay, altogether journals as a treating it as an institution, they are also counting the H index. But this H index is particularly meant for the institution and or person who have regularly or consistently doing well in academics communication process. There is a tool called Publish or Perish. You please try to download it in these tools. It's a free tool. Whenever you will get time, you download it, you will use it. Now, in today's context, as I am taking time, I am just little bit compressing my idea. In today's context, only the citation is not the factor to judge the quality. In today's context, 3 other terms or idea comes into the domain. And this 3 way by which you measure the quality, one is called link analysis, another one is called webometric analysis, and very recent one is called altmetric analysis. Actually, the link analysis is based on an idea how much hyperlink a particular website have. Either it may be inward hyperlink or maybe outward hyperlink. But it unable to explain you the purpose of hyperlink. That's why Google, this Alexa analytics, or you can say link analysis, is very good for commercial search engine or commercial services like Facebook, like Twitter, like WhatsApp and all. If somebody have web interface, how much link they are regularly using and creating and how much it is directed towards that, it's very important to understand. But academic content wise, if we see, academic content or academic impact is basically related with whether this citation or link have some impact in terms of scholarly communication process. That means if some citation or link comes from web pages or any other non-commercial sites or commercial sites, does it have any meaning? That's why link analysis not become so popular. Just to putting that idea in little bit purified form, Professor Ingerson was once developed webometric analysis. And he was one of the person, Rousseau, along with Rousseau, he has used the word citation. It's just like citation, but it's known as citation. Okay. So it's citation. It's basically also include the impact they are trying to discriminate the total input link in form of category that is based on web impact factor. That's why they was developed. But it was also not become so popular. Very popular tool present day is Altimetrics, but it's also have limitations. And this Altimetrics is basically counting how much download, how much tweet, how much retweet, how much social media platform this article is getting recognition. That means how much it has been shared by author in tweet and how much it gets retweet, how much person again send it, forward it to other community for its dissemination. So actually what impact is, impact basically means, if you clearly try to guess it, that impact means influence. So if you get it that how much influence an articles have, then this may be a good tool to understand the impact of an article. But if somebody in traditional way or in de facto way, if somebody is understanding impact means only citation, then still we should believe, we should be concentrated ourselves that the citation a journal received from various scholarly sources, that should be considered for counting the impact. Now these are the tools very, very important to knowing about the visibility of your identity. Here I am showing you the very, very tools. Why I am showing this? Because today's context, publishing articles, only publishing article doesn't have any meaning unless it reaches to the community. There are 6 tools which are popularly being used in this domain. I should not say 6, there may be number of tools, but these are well known. One is academia, one is ResearchGate, one is Google Scholar, one is Impact Story, one is LinkedIn, and one is OrchidID. Actually, if you try to become an author, you should have an OrchidID. You should be intimate your work into ResearchGate. You must have some LinkedIn ID that may be treated as a criteria to identify you and to display your identity to the global community. Now the question comes, why it is very essential to increase the visibility? Because or because just to get more citation, just to get more readability of your article, it is very, very important that people should involve or display its publication to the world community by these tools. But at the same time, there are certain tricks involved when you write your article. You must adopt certain tools, certain techniques by which you can increase your visibility. These techniques basically, you always write the core idea, core content of your subject onto the abstract, onto the title, onto the keyword. This is the very first thing. Whenever an author writes articles, he must be considered that the main keyword should be the first keyword. Main theme of the paper must comes into the title, or it must the first line or second line into the abstract. Then it will certainly be indexed easily by the search engine indexer or robots. One should be very much careful to choose proper term which pertains to its article theme. It should be included. Simultaneously, he should exploit the social network site to disseminate his article. Probably some bad comments come that people are using this just to make it publicized. But this era is for publisher. You have to publicize your work as far as possible by putting your work into some social platform so that people will know what you are doing, what is very, very important. And simultaneously, you must submit your work to some open institutional archives. There are so many open institutional archives who, without taking any fund and anything, or if you have institutional archives at your institution, certainly you upload it, uplink it of your article. It is very, very 3 important things that an author must do for increase the visibility. Okay, so I am just touching about the citation part and little bit of visibility part. These are the tools. Altogether, I think I have already taken my part. I must not take much more of that. But as it's a matter of fact, as it is very, very important, I am just trying to show you the three tools. One is called Excel. Another one, I must say you must use this IBM SPSS. And third one, you must use this R. These are the three tools which a bibliometrics process one should be very much well aware of. Probably you may ask to me, why Excel? Why it's not SPSS? Because statistics based tool. Okay. SPSS is very excellent for handling the numeric data. But if you have an idea, proper idea of Excel, then you can do excellent piece of job in Excel if your data is mixed up, character as well as numeric. Say, for example, here, how many authors these articles have. It's a very simple command. I am just trying to show it and then leave it. It's a field is called author. In this field, you select it and then go by data, move it by text to column. If it is says text to column, then you are just saying every author is separated by comma. Then you make it comma and then make it next and make it finish. Then the total article will be separated by your columns. Okay, the total article will be explicitly moved by some columns. I am just showing you there may be certain mistake. Let me one by one check what it was saying. General, it's a large number of cells, that's why it is showing a problem. So just taking few data and showing the same formula in a sheet 2. I am showing it just to explain what the beauty of the Excel is. Here the author is, I am taking a small piece, text to column, make it delimited by and then separated by comma, then make it finish. Every author will be go in different cell. Okay, if it is separated, then there is a command called count blank. If you make some count blank command, put it on your own way, then it will explain you how much the total author this article have. Okay, because here it is 3, someone it is 4, maybe in somewhere it is 20, someone it's 20. The last cell you have to only identify. On that large cell, you can able to know what are the total authors is. It's a long process. It's a little bit expanding process. Just now it is difficult to explain you all as the time is very short. But there is another tool called SPSS. In SPSS, basically it's a mean for handling data. So if we are going for SPSS, try to first understand, you have to first explain the variable name over here, then input data into the next cell, then it will only be delivered. And third one is R. Then if you say R, there is a called package. In package, you have to load package, and there is a load package. There are so many packages are there, and there is a package called bibliometrics you have to load. By the bibliometrics, if you can load, then all bibliometric calculation along with regression analysis and all, you can do it very easily in these services. Time is very short. I am not taking time as Professor Parthasarathi will take up this part. But dear friends, the last one, not least one, probably Professor Parthasarathi will take up this part. There are the current trend of understanding the impact of article and impact of citation and how the citation and impact have correlation, or you can better to say how you can establish the relation with one with another can be visualized by some visualization tool. These tools, there are 3 tools are very, very important. One is called PZAP. It's a free tool. You can download it at your home, at your own desktop, use it. It is very, very good tool to understand closeness centrality, betweenness centrality, or structural whole. Closeness centrality means two authors, how closely they are related with each other. The distance between two entity or two nodes, if become too nearer, that means they are very tightly connected. If their links are very far away, means they are not correctly or tightly connected. How they are do it, Professor Parthasarathi probably little bit touch on that. Betweenness means for one node to another node, who are doing as a center or who are serving as the important for scholarly communication process. And the structural whole means in the network, which author, if we make them off, the total network becomes scratched or become breaked. That is very important because of which author. Say, for example, a author have a author group. Who are the leading author? Whether his leadership will leads to any effect into the citation process. Today, you can understand it by network visualization method. There is another tool which is openly available altogether. It's not free of cost. It's not open source. That is called Bob's Viewer. You can download it. You can use it. Very simple tool. And another one is called Gephi. Okay. These are the three tools. Probably Professor Pathasarathi will take up this. But this Bob's Viewer is basically to look after the node link and link strength. VSAC is basically closeness, betweenness, structural whole, and the Gephi is particularly open source software that Bob's Viewer usually do. You can download it and then you can customize it according to your own, and then you can use it on your own because it displays the graph in a very minute fashions. So it is very, very important tool to understand. So let me stop with by leaving my mic to Professor Pathasarathi Mukhopadhyay for remaining part of this session. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir, for your eloquent speech. Really, it's a great pleasure to hear from you. And now I would like to invite Professor Pathasarathi Mukhopadhyay for the next segment of this webinar.
Professor Bhaskar Mukherjee, my close and very near and dear friend, given button to me for exploring the citation network. And what I am planning here, because PAGIC and many other, Soxibot kind of things are already quite popular with all the academicians. So I am now going to explore a different kind of citation network, and will try to show you the benefit that through which this kind of, citation network can help us. So topic title is Exploring the Citation Network, Rules and Tools. And when you are talking about citation, often there is a misnomer or there is a confusion or misjudgment amongst students, scholars, and faculty members. Sometimes I have seen it that we often cannot distinguish between the citation in reference and citation what Professor Bhaskar Mukherjee talked about. That the moment you are giving someone in the reference, you are the citing author, that author is the cited author. So that citing author cited network and in-text citation, we often make a mistake. So in-text citation, what you are talking about when you are referring a particular source that to support your data, to support your view, and you are adding there either a numeric, if it is a numerical standard based citation standard like Indian standard is there, Indian citation standard, or author date like surname of the author and year of publication of that paper, if you are following a author date kind of citation standard like APA or MLA. So that distinction you must first be very clear that in-text citation is something that is also a kind of citation. You are citing the source, but the citing author and cited author network is something different one. So if I take the example of my dear friend, one of his highly cited paper, this particular one, suppose it is available from his, he talked about visibility, that Google's scholar profile page. So here you see that author Bhaskar Mukherjee, when I opened this particular full text paper, he actually used, these are the papers in the reference, many more, I have given up to 30. So in this particular network, Bhaskar Mukherjee is the citing author, and these are the author what he included in his paper. It will go to some citation database, and this person will be cited author, and Bhaskar Mukherjee will be citing author. Now, the moment I click who cited this paper of Professor Bhaskar Mukherjee, the moment I click who cited him, so it shows that it received a total of 75 citation from different papers, and this particular author is a citing author, and then Bhaskar Mukherjee is a cited author. So what I am trying to tell you that it's actually a network. network of citing author, cited author, and that network is giving different kind of inbuilt services, and many of such services are available to us free of cost, that we can utilize judiciously for our different academic endeavor. So at the core of the core, the concept of this particular citing author versus cited author network, you can see these particular big bubbles are getting more citations. Small bubbles are actually receive smaller number of citations, but it actually form a core of the this kind of thing. And if you take many different disciplines, suppose in case of multidisciplinary nature of research, if you are taking or actually gathering many papers belonging to different related disciplines like bibliometrics, information retrieval, user behavior, and so on, so you will be finding a bigger network here. And here you can identify that small clusters of network actually related or dedicated to different subjects within the bigger framework or within the bigger picture. So this particular citation network, apart from visualization, apart from many other calculation and other things, how as a simple academician, suppose bibliometrics, scientometrics is our domain, and Professor Bhaskar Mukherjee is one of the pioneer in this particular domain. But as a general teacher, you are a subject expert of a different disciplines. Your areas of research are different, particularly in social science, science and technology. So how you can utilize this citation network as a product, as an academic product for your research and other academic endeavor. That is the topic what I am going to cover today, and very briefly within 15-20 minutes. So have you ever thought that if you are dividing any of your scientific writing, I am not talking about a 250-page thesis or something like that. When you are writing your, say for example, a paper, journal article, a technical note, a technical report. So what amount of time you are actually spending in actual writing of that particular paper, thesis or technical note? So here you can see one particular very famous internet research company, Pew Internet. They came up with a theory supported by a lot of hard facts that most of the cases an academic person or a researcher, when completes his or her research, including the writing part, the entire time frame is divided something like this. 60% time you are spending on. So that is basically the intellectual labor you are giving to produce your research output. But 40% of your time for any kind of research, proportionately, actually 40% you are giving to different other non-intellectual work. Like 30% time you are giving in arranging your references, arranging references in your word processor, organizing them chapter-wise, preparing your bibliography, checking of your references, collecting different kind of data related to in support of your views and facts. So that actually includes 30%, and 10% time you are actually devoting for final writing or producing your research report of any kind. So that is globally known fact in the domain of research writing or scientific writing. And what problem associated with this particular domain, and how citation network can be utilized for a separate purpose, for a different purpose, apart from visualization, apart from different kind of journal impact factor calculation, H-index calculation, representation of the data, how we can utilize it differently. Let me start why this is required, because you see some serious observations are there when you are managing your citations, particularly in the form of in-text citations and references, that can you believe there are almost 9,000 different styles in scientific writing. So if I make it slightly zoom, you can see this is actually the GitHub Harvard repository, which actually collects all citation styles humankind ever produced. So altogether till date there are 8,900 plus citation styles are there, and we are facing different kind of problem when we are switching from journal X to journal Y to journal Z and so on. So that is one of the problem in this particular citation network. Most of you people are knowing, but again it is no harm to repeat it, that if you go by studying all these 9,000 citations, this thing, you will be finding that there are only 5 different types of categories. So category 1 cites only author, particularly in in-text citation style, author date, ATA, MLA, well known to all of you social science teachers, label, note and numeric. And discipline wise it also varies. If you talk about biological discipline, they follow 293, altogether there are 401 standard in the domain of biology. 293 follow author date and 108 number of following numeric. Chemistry, the case is completely different. 14 only author date, 129 numeric, altogether 143. If you come into different social science disciplines, again picture is different. Author date, political science 104, numeric only 14, numeric is nil and note is 14. So when you are going to science-based disciplines, numeric is popular, and when you are coming to arts and humanities and social sciences, author date is popular. But I simply don't understand what is the need of these 9,000, almost 9,000 citation standards in our in the domain of scientific life. So this brief presentation I have prepared because I knew that Bhaskar is going to cover most of the things. It is his domain actually. So that's why I have explored something different, so that it is not actually repeating some of the facts we already shared with you. So how this citation network we can utilize, let us explore in a practical way. One of the citation management software many of you are basically utilizing, and let me create a new collection here. Say the collection name I am giving NSOU. And in this NSOU, suppose I have already collected a few data in BibTeX format, so that it does not take much of the time to show you the exploring how to explore citation network. So I am copying a few journal citations here, which deals with a particular aspect of information retrieval that you all understand, that information search and retrieval of information. Now come to this particular part, that how to include these particular references, how to import this one in a given collection, or you can prepare your own collection. Say for example here you can go for import, you can copy it and you can go for the export from import from clipboard. If you click import for clipboard, it is actually importing all the particular citations I have just copied here. So it is one of the techniques that how you can copy your citations collected from different sources in Zotero in a given collection. Now the moment you are having this particular collection ready here, you can utilize this particular collection set of data to explore the citation network. Okay, so let it be. I'll be coming here again back. So if I move now to a particular tool, there are many such tools. I am starting with the simplest one, insightful.xyz. Also you can see here all 8 items actually imported in this particular collection now, and you can now utilize this one. But later on I will be coming here. But with this particular big file, you can try to explore the entire citation network prepared on the basis of the data visualization technique and data gathering techniques as discussed by Professor Bhaskar Mukherjee, because both are Mukherjee, so you may again. So here what I am trying to do. So the moment I open this insightful.xyz, it's a very interesting tool and service to explore citation network from different point of view. I can import a BibTeX file here, and that BibTeX file I can select the file I prepared for this presentation or demonstration today's. Let me go there, and this is the NSOU.bib file, and if I open up this particular file, it will now, you see, it will create a list of the papers. These are the 7 papers, only 7 papers I am selecting here. So this 7 paper can create a network and it can tell you that you see this particular network is much bigger than the number of you have given only 7 number of input by collecting core papers in your area. So on the basis of that, it can create a proper citation network for your work. And you can see here the bigger bubbles are basically the authors in this particular code domain who have got much more citations, and smaller bubble got less number of citations. But the important thing is that what you have missed in core collection of your paper, that you are getting from here, and any of the paper here you select. Say for example, I missed this Mackey paper, suppose. So the moment I click it will ask me add to literature view. So you can remember, you can read the abstract, you can check how many times it got cited, who are citing it, when it is published, whether it is open access or not. Everything you can get it from here, and click add to literature. And you know that I have started with 7 number of documents, and 7 number of documents now is actually becoming 8. So now it is 8. So in this way, you can see here, it will be adding here in this particular part in 2006 paper. Then again you can click add to literature. It will come into your literature network, and in this way you are starting with 7 number of documents, but actually end up with 50, 60 core papers. Right from you can pick up from the citation network, citing author, cited author network, and you can go for your adding to your literature review, adding to making your core collection much more enriched. Whatever the paper you have missed, anyone can miss a good paper. There is no surprise of it. Everybody misses it. But this kind of citation network, if you use, you can explore, you can pick up, you can click to add to literature, and at the end of the day you will be getting 14, 15, 20, 25 number of core papers. Then you can, what you can do, then you can export this particular paper collection when it will be increasing. If you see here, all 8, 9, the moment you are going to click and add, it will be adding to your this particular list. Then at the end of the day, you can export this data as a big text file, and then again you can come to your Zotero or any reference manager software, and you can import it there. So you are going to hunt paper with 7, 5, 10 number of papers, 4 papers, and you are coming back to Zotero or your reference management section again with 50 number of core papers, but by utilizing this citation network, and which is a very important and good byproduct of this particular citation network. So apart from this insightful, another very feature rich and important tool is litmap. If you go to this app.litmaps.co, in the same way, it can allow you to input your paper, to create map on the basis of your input. You can import your library. You can start by searching, or you can utilize the bib file, as I said. But it is always better to start insightful. It's a very easy to use a particular interface, directly web based. Then when your little bit of expertise will be going, then you come to litmap. Litmap has many advanced features, like you can run a particular query at the back end. You can open up your own map, and that map can grow automatically and silently if you set in that particular fashion. So litmap is a slightly difficult tool, but that's why I'm telling you that always start with insightful, then come to litmap. Another tool which you can either utilize in online format, or you can download and you can utilize, that is called Citation Gecko. Citation Gecko is this particular tool is also working in the same fashion, and the beauty of this tool is that either you can utilize in the same way, you can add paper here and start discovering paper on the top of citation network, or you can download the software and you can run in your local machine. It doesn't matter, and in the local machine you need to be connected to the internet. So that is one part of the story, that how citation network is working. So I am now going to show you another tool that can help you to rank the papers you have collected in this fashion by utilizing an application which is called AI based application. And this is the tool what I am going to show you, that is called AS Review. If you go to this particular site, automated systematic review. So I have, in the first part of this presentation, I have shown you how can you utilize the citation network to gather data, to gather bibliographic data related to your research. You can arrange it, you can organize it in your reference management software. You can start from your reference management software, go and hunt paper, core papers, come back to your reference management software and utilize that in your writing. And next part is dealing with that if you have gathered more than 1,000, more than 2,000 paper, then what to do? How can you rank? Is it possible to go through all 2,000 to 3,000 papers you have collected in your domain and then select these are the required papers, these are not the required? That is the manual process we are doing presently and wasting much of the time. For example, when we people are doing our research as a research scholar, 6 to 7 months we spend just to differentiate the papers which are required, which are relevant and which are not relevant, not required for our purpose. So here, this particular tool is here to help us on the basis of artificial intelligence technology or AI based tools and technique. It's an open source tool. You can download the tool. Installation process is very simple. Don't think that I am using Linux here, so it is only possible to install in Linux. It can be installed in any Windows machine. A very good example you can see here. If you click Windows, the entire software suite you can have for Windows machine. You can install it. Python is inbuilt. It requires, it's a Python based software. Python will be installed automatically, and you just need to click and start. So first you see that how I am starting this one. So give me one moment to see. I am connecting to a separate computer here. So let me check the IP of that particular machine. So you see here how I am entering into that particular machine, starting this AS review and utilizing that tool in a web-based interface. It is actually, you can install it locally. There is no network service still available. So I am now entering into another machine where my Python 3 is all set, because different machine I am utilizing for different purposes. So I am now in that particular server, which is not my local machine, and starting. So it will be starting, and the moment it will be starting, it is saying that you just contact this machine, the machine IP address, and the port is 45. So I am now opening the machine 192.168.115.37 and then port number. So that's simple. If everything is going well, you can see the home page of a automated systematic review. And a quick tour you can take. This quick tour explain that what it can do for you. It's saying you can easily set a project. You can put your entire input, entire collected bibliographical details here. It's like a machine. Train the particular model, that in which model you want to train, which is relevant, what is not relevant, what is your area of choice, what is not. Then the AI based tool will do the rest of the things. And you are inputting a big pile of data and you are coming with a handful of most relevant data set. That is the beauty of this tool. So now I am starting a particular project. Suppose this is the project I am starting from here, a new project. The moment I click this new project, still import is still going on that, so it is creating some disturbance in this area. So let me open up my another browser. So now the moment I click this one, actually Jotero was interfacing with this one. So I am giving, say for example, the project name is test, then my name and description is also test. You see here what I am trying to do. I am going to give some input to this particular machine, and then it will create this one. So let me show what I am going to input. So this is a particular CSV file I have collected through this one. I am opening this CSV file through spreadsheet program. It's basically a CSV file covering all author, title, this DOI and etc. So the moment I open this up, you can see what is the content of this CSV file and what your this AI based tool can do with it. So altogether 2000 data I have collected related to a given field. The field is basically information seeking behavior of transgender, LGBT people and so on. So we did some research on this area earlier. So this is a data set on this one, and you can see the last column. So what is last column says? Last column says the EID. It's basically an EBSCO identifier of the author or something like that. So here you see what the changes it will make in this last column automatically. So I am now closing this one, just tried to show you that how to do that, and now I can start it. The moment I click start setup, it will be asking me that you want to give input in file. Okay, I want to give input in file. It takes only CSV file. So what file I am selecting here? I am selecting here the file I have kept for this demonstration. So this is NSOU, this data.csv, and now you can upload. Now the moment you upload, it will take some time, and it says that there are 1897 documents are there. So I do not have to go through all 2000, almost near 2000 document here. What I will do, I will click next, and it will ask me that you train the model now, that which is relevant for you and which is not relevant to you. Of these 2000 documents, say my focus of data gathering, my important keywords are say library and India in the context of LGBT people information seeking behavior. Now the moment I click search, here you can see first I can search by library. So it is I am selecting that okay, this one is important, so I can click it, I can read the abstract and I can select whether it is relevant or not. Then again I can search, so I have at least minimum 5 is required, relevant or irrelevant altogether. I am again searching library and selecting very quickly that academic library collection on LGBT information behavior, make it relevant. Then 2 data I am selecting from India. So let us see something related to India, LGBTQI movement. But I don't want any kind of movement. I want only LGBT youth population, their information demand, information seeking behavior, use of library and so on. So something I am selecting in India. So it's relevant. Then another one I am selecting for India, say blindly I am selecting this one. So 4 relevant document I have selected. Now I need to tell that what I don't need. Say I don't need anything related to movement. That is not focus of my research. So I can make this is irrelevant and say I don't want anything outside Asia. Only I want to exclude Europe. So anything I am selecting irrelevant, and I want to also exclude US. So in this way, you can set your criteria, what term is important, what term is irrelevant for you, and your now model is trained. So of this 2000 document, I actually studied through abstract, although I have not given time here, but at actual practice you need to give some time to read the abstract and check the relevancy. So 4 relevant document and 3, only 7 I have studied. Now the moment I click next, it will be asking me that what model you want to apply. By default, NAPFAST model is a very famous model in clustering, but you can always change. The moment you click edit, you can pick up any of this model available here. NAPFAST is default and the most comprehensive. Then this is vector space, DF-IDF model, talk-to-vec also you can utilize. Then you can also use random, mixed or centrality. So I am now taking the default setup and click finish. So all 2000 now this artificial intelligence based software is starting, and within 2-3 seconds it will give you result. So this is the result. I have started 7 documents. Any moment of time, if I think that more reviewing is required, I can start reviewing again and I can download the result. Now, if I click the download of the result, I can select either Excel or CSV format. Let us select CSV format and download it. And download it in a particular, the same location that where we have taken this particular data. So I am going to the same folder again. So you can see this was the input, deep data CSV, and this is the output. Now the moment I save it, it is getting downloaded. And I want to go to this particular folder. Here you see the result came, deep data input, this AS review is the output. And the moment I open up this with any spreadsheet program, it's a CSV file. So you see that how does it look now. So the same document you can see, the raw file what I have shown you, and here you can see in the last column what it did. It says that these are the 4 included, and this is the ranking of entire 2000 document, or 1897 exactly what we have given. So exactly it given a rank. Now I can select the top 100 I will take, or top 150 I will take, or top 200 I will be taking. So this is the one of the utilization. Again, the product you are getting from citation network. Again, you can show to some AI based tools and technique and get the output very within a few minutes. At what took earlier 6 months to 8 months, now it takes only 6 to 8 minutes to rank the entire large data set according to the relevancy, according to the focus you are utilizing. So that's all from my side, and thank you very much for your patience hearing.
Thank you very much, sir, for your eloquent speech and TV coverage on this special issue. Now I would like to invite Professor Anirban to share his views on this particular issue.
Thank you, Dr. Varnani. Actually, I am immensely benefited with the presentation made by Professor Bhaskar Mukherjee and Professor Mukherjee. I hope our esteemed colleagues will also agree with me. Actually, the concept of citation index we came across while we were working on the NAAC SSR. There we found one matrix dedicated to the citation index, and we could not calculate the H index or I index. We had to search many places, but we could not get the desired result. Actually, the H index was calculated by InfluBNet, coordinated by the NAAC, and from then we were thinking to organize such type of webinar so that our faculty members can understand the concept of citation and H index, G index, something like that. So from this webinar, the major take-home items are the impact calculation, citation matrix tools. These are all important items or important factors for writing an article. Professor Bhaskar Mukherjee has highlighted that the quality of the article or quality of the journal depends on the citation, number of citation. So whenever we write any article or contribute any article or paper to a specific journal, we have to check the impact factor of that particular journal, whether it is online journal or offline journal. And as far as article is concerned, our article, because the faculty members or researchers are contributing the articles, so the quality of the article or paper to be judged by number of citation. And to increase the citation, especially in this digital era, we have to increase our visibility. Visibility may be increased by various ways that Professor Bhaskar Mukherjee has highlighted. And in his deliberations, he told that the various repositories can be used to increase the visibility. And I can share here with our esteemed participants and esteemed speakers that we have our own OER repository. So the interested faculties may contribute their papers or articles to publish in the OER repository, as well as we have a very good online journal having the ISSL. We are trying to include this journal in the UGC care list. So this is about Professor Bhaskar Mukherjee. Now come to the lecture or presentation of Professor Parthasarathi Mukhopadhyay. He is our board member of MLIS and also the member of the PhD committee. So we know each other for a long time. He has given a good point of discussion that citing author and cited author. The citing author and cited author creates the network, and in turn, both are benefited. And he has also shown how to use the citation network and how to use the citation tools, especially in this digital platform. So thank you, Professor Parthasarathi Mukhopadhyay, and I hope in future we will be able to organize more such type of webinars for the benefit of our faculty members and researchers. So it is due to paucity of time, we can take maximum 1 or 2 questions. If you have any specific question to our esteemed speakers, you can put, or otherwise we can go to the closing session.
So thank you very much, Professor Ghosh. It's really a great privilege to propose a vote of thanks on behalf of Netaji Subhash Open University on this wonderful occasion of national webinar on citation index and impact factor, which was really organized by Center for Internal Quality Assessment, SAIL of Netaji Subhash Open University. At the outset, I extend my very hearty vote of thanks to Professor Bhaskar Mukherjee, Professor of Banaras Hindu University, who is a renowned figure in the field of library and information science. Sir, we all are well informed by your excellent coverage and great words on citation index. We have been truly lucky to listen you in this virtual platform. We are keenly looking forward to listen to your deliberation in future. Thank you so much, sir. Now, my profound thanks and gratitude to Professor Parthasarathi Mukhopadhyay, who is Professor of Department of Library and Information Science, Kolani University, who is also my guru, for sharing analytical thoughts on this pertinent issue. Your eloquent and in-depth speech clearly reflected the objectives of the workshop. Thank you very much, sir, for your wonderful deliberations. Now, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Sir, Professor Shubho Shankar Sarkar, for his constant guidance and encouragement, which has helped us to work with lot of confidence. My enormous respect to you, sir, and we have enough fortunate to have Dr. Anirban Ghosh, Director CIQA. A special thanks to him for his generous step towards academic excellence. An event like this cannot happen overnight. It requires a lot of planning and a bird's eye for detail. I take the privilege to thank our Director of School of Science, Director of School of Social Science, Director of School of Education, Director of Study Center, our Finance Officer, Director of School of Humanities of our prestigious university for their support. And I thank to my esteemed colleagues for their constant support. It is a great platform to convey my heartfelt thanks to all non-teaching colleagues and as well as the technical team of the university for rendering their assistance to make this workshop successful. My heartfelt thanks to most important part of this workshop is all participants from different institutions for being your presence here for gracing the occasion. And once again, I want to state that we are all most grateful to our eminent guests, speaker, colleagues, and participants for being with us. And I would like to conclude with the hope that this webinar will provide a platform to share our knowledge and expertise, which will be helpful for our future endeavor. And I would like to end up this vote of thanks with the quote of Martin Luther King Jr., that the ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moment of comfort, but where he stands at times of challenge and controversy. So now is the time to decide, now is the time to act, and now where do we stand? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Bonali. I should mention here that within a very short period of time, we could organize this seminar within 4 to 5 days. And our special thanks to our speakers, esteemed speakers, that they have readily agreed to give this lecture in our platform. So special thanks to our esteemed speakers from the university point of view. So, thank you.